We got our hands on a huge amount of Ferrex power tools from ALDI middle aisle, gotta love it, and we turned it from this into this, a beautifully organised Ferrex power tool wall on a French cleat looking awesome. Let's show you how we built it. Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today I'm organising this huge amount of Ferrex power tools, which we picked up. I picked these up a few weeks ago with Dylan. Show the picture, Matt. No, not that one. So yeah, we had a full trolley load of Ferrex power tools, and these are great value and really good solid tools. So we've got 4 combi drills, we've got 4 impact drills, and a whole heap of batteries and chargers. So we're gonna get them organised in a power tool wall. Now I've got a gap over there, which is perfectly sized, or pretty sure it's gonna be the right size for one of our medium sheets. So we'll have a 50mm and a 30mm pair of medium sheets in blue, and medium sheets are the most cost-effective way to do these big power tool walls, because we can just have a 150mm sheet, cut all the way through it, have a 30mm backer, and that's all you need, and we'll build a really simple frame around it, put a bit of a trim round to make sure it doesn't fall out, and hopefully it's gonna be a dead simple build. So I think we're gonna go for 2 sets of an impact driver and a combi on the left, 2 sets on the right, and then all the batteries down the middle. That should give us a nice symmetrical layout, and we can get it all cut in. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future videos, and let's get into it. Right, so that's all the cutting done. I'm really pleased with how that went. And the process for cutting shadow foam, it couldn't be easier. I've used one of our cutting kits, which has got everything in it you need. It's got the scalpel, blades, it's got the anti-cut gloves, it's got the repair glue for if you make any mistakes, it's got stickers and instructions. So everything you need to cut the foam is in our cutting kits. They come free with a lot of the orders on shadow foam, depending how much you spend, and they are available individually as well. So links in the description for that, shadowfoam.com, down in the description below. But when it comes to cutting the foam, all you have to do is place the item where you want it to go, cut around it with the scalpel. You're using the scalpel like a pencil, so you're just cutting lightly around the item. Once you've gone all the way around, you can remove the item out of the way and then cut down deeper. For this, we're cutting all the way through because we've got a 50mm layer and a 30mm. So for this, we're just literally cutting all the way through. But if it was a bit shallower, you would just cut as deep as you need to go and then peel back the foam. Right, so that's all the cutting done. So all we need to do now is cut in the finger pulls. So we're going to be doing a semicircle either side of the triggers on the drills and the impactors. Once we've done that, I'll then flip it over, put all of these cutouts back in, and then we can spray glue it all, take the inserts out, and that'll give us some perfectly masked off foam, which we can then bond the 50mm and 30mm layer together. Right, so let's get on with it. Right, so that's all done, all glued, and we've got all the finger pulls in, so I'd say that is the hard bit done, or maybe it's the easy bit, I don't know, depending what perspective you're looking at it from. We've certainly done a big part of the project. All we need now is a frame to house this in, to then put it on the wall. So I've been rooting through the scrap pile, and I've got a piece of OSB. People call it all sorts of things. I call it OSB. Some people call it sterling board. Some people call it chipboard. But essentially, it's nice solid board, and I've got some of it here, so it's free. And then we've got some architrave. So I've got 2 short pieces, 2 long pieces, and this will do for a really nice looking frame. So we'll cut these down on the miter saw, and then we'll have a lovely looking frame to hold the beam in. So all we need now is the actual physical frame that goes round the foam to house the foam, hold it tight on the board. So again, we found some scrap wood. This is 75mm. This is tannalized timber, so it's not planed all round, which I'd have preferred, but it's 75mm, which is what we need, and we'll be able to make a frame with that. So next thing we're gonna do, we've got to rip this down to size on the panel saw, cut these rails on the miter saw, and then we can pin it all together and get it up on the wall. So let's get everything cut up. Right, so that is the frame all done. We've added the Arca drive to the front, which is holding the foam in place, but we've only put it on with screws, so if we do need to change out the foam, change the design, change the colour, whatever it is, we can easily just unscrew these rails, take the foam out and go again. I'm really happy with how this has come out because it's really solid. So the big question now is, how do we mount this big lump on the wall? Well, the best way to do something like this is with something called a French cleat. So we'll take some of our scrap bit of timber, we'll use the wood shop, which is next to me, and we'll cut some 45-degree rails. So let's cut the rails down to size, we'll mount them on the wall, and we'll get this fitted and then see what it finally looks like with all the tools in it. So let's go in the wood shop. Right, so I've got a bit of skirting board, which is going to be perfect for the French cleat, and we can chop it up in here on the radial arm saw. So what we'll end up with is 2 rails with a 45-degree angle on each of them. We can mount one of those rails on the power tool panel, we can mount the other on the wall, and what that means is that when we mount it on the wall, it'll spread the load, spread the weight across the whole bar, rather than having it on like 2 nails or 2 screws or something. Also, we can lift it on and off the wall dead easy. So French cleats are the way to go, and this is the perfect tool for ripping down these cleats. So I've got the head rotated. All we do now is rotate it into 45 degrees, and then I can push the timber through and cut it. So let's get going. Right, so we've got our 2 pieces. We've got 2 nice rails here, 45 degrees on each. So all we need to do is flip this power tool wall over, and we're going to go with that one on the wall. We'll mount that one on the back here, and we can just mount that nice and squarely there. Then this one will go opposite angle, mounted to the wall, and that's going to be perfect. We'll also have to just put a quick little spacer here so it hangs nice and squarely on the wall. But yeah, let's get that fixed on. Right, so that's it finished. It's up on the wall, and I think that's looking awesome. These Ferrex tools look the real deal to me. I mean, they're a good price, they're good value, and they're really solidly built, but they also look really good. I love the design of them. I like the grey. They remind me of a new brand, Flex, that they have in America. It's a very similar style to this grey and black. So I'm loving it. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you use Ferrex tools? What do you think about them? Because I've used these a little bit, but not a huge amount. I just get the feeling that they're well built and they're sturdy tools. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. What you think of the batteries as well, what you think of the tools. Obviously, we've only got impactors and combi drills, but obviously Ferrex have a whole range of stuff, don't they? So we could possibly extend this. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, because we're doing power tool walls like this all the time. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.